day go by without talking to my wife, I'm in big trouble. She says, on and popping. Yeah, it's on and popping. If I let one day slip by, but we let days slip by without, you know, it says in Proverbs chapter 3, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him. See, we have to acknowledge God in everything that we do. I mean, He's given us, my wife said last week, He's given us the playbook right here. He's given us the playbook for right living. If we would just do what God says to do, if we would do it God's way, we wouldn't have all these distractions. We wouldn't have all these oh no moments. Oh no. Why did this happen? Why is this stuff always happening to me? If we just do it God's way, when those things happen, it won't amount to a hill of beans, a warm bucket of spit. If we do it God's way and heed to the wake-up call, I'm telling you, some good people can be corrupted by their companions.
Yes.
Now that's God's way, right? He said, leave them folk alone. But I don't know why we get so attached to these heathens. Now we don't just cut them out of our lives, but sometimes we worship them like we're supposed to be worshiping God. That's my boy. I'm gonna be with him to the end. I got your back, dog. Wherever you go, I'm going with you. You don't even tell God that. I got you, girl. I got your back, girl. We in this for the long haul. She's like, yeah, you gonna go to hell with me? Yeah, I'm going to hell with you, everything. Yeah. Look at who you are paying your allegiance to. And then Revelation chapter 3, he was talking to the church at Laodicea. He was telling these Christians, he was giving them a wake-up call. He said, now listen here. Some of y'all, you ain't hot and you ain't cold. You lukewarm. He said, that don't please me. See, I'm going to spit you out my mouth. You know, they wasn't for evil, but they wasn't against it either. They wasn't speaking against it. They wasn't for it. I'm in the middle. Just like in 1941, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, the United States, they were trying to play that. I ain't hot. I ain't cold. I'm in the middle of this thing. I ain't gonna. They got a wake up call. And the Japanese, they woke up a sleeping giant when they found Pearl Harbor, I want to tell you. But they were just like the church of Laodicea. We ain't gonna be in the war. We ain't against, we ain't for, we just gonna be. No, you ain't in the middle. You gonna get in this thing, the Japanese. You gonna get in this war. And they got in it. So they got a wake-up call. And then here's another wake-up call on September 11th in 2001. When two airplanes come smashing into the Twin Towers. We got a wake-up call. But we didn't mobilize our forces like they did when Pearl Harbor got bombed. You know, the president got on a stick, you know, and did some things, and we united as Americans. I'm proud to be American. You heard that song ringing all out, everywhere you go. People had the red, white, and blue flags everywhere. We were unified. People come rushing to the church. We were unified for a couple of weeks. And then it was business as usual. It was business as usual. After a couple of weeks. We didn't mobilize like they did when Pearl Harbor was bombed. Now listen to this. Dr. Creflo Dollar, I saw a video that he had when he gave a Bible prophecy, he says, and he mentioned that this year, on the 11th day of each month, there's going to be a disaster. He said there was one in January, one in February, one in March. We know about Japan. And he said on the 11th day of each month, there's going to be a disaster this year. And then on November 11, 2011, which is 11/11/11, there's going to be a great disaster. Now, he said that's a Bible prophecy. Now, I ain't that bright. I didn't see that in the Bible. But I do see where there's going to be great earthquakes and wars and rumors of wars, and those are the signs of the time. I do see that. However, you know, we got about 8 days for the 11th day of this month.
Yes, sir.
And November will be here before we know it as well. But even if that is not true, how many of us just have wasted some years doing nothing? We don't have nothing to show for it.
Yes, sir.
How many of us have done that? You know, and we don't want to believe that prophecy is true. Well, like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. Time will tell. But I do know that God has given us some signs. God has given us some signs, and it says that all throughout the Bible. Half of the prophecies that's in the Bible have come to pass already. Over half. All of the prophecies about Jesus, when he was alive, they come to pass. All of them came to pass. All of them. And Jesus says in the book of Luke, he tells them, he said, you hypocrites. Now, you can tell when it's going to be warm by how the wind blows. You can tell when it's going to rain by how the clouds move in the sky. How come you can't discern the signs of the time? You see, y'all so smart, educated, scientific. You can tell how the weather's going to be. How come you can't discern the signs of the time? And I didn't even go further than what Jesus said. How come you can't discern the signs of the time? And I done put it in the Bible for you to see it. Right? Because they don't read the Bible.
Come on.
We run to God in times of trouble. But when the good times is here, we just, you know, we ain't got time for God. We just let the good times roll. We don't pray. We just, hey, these good times. I'm living it up. I'm living large. But just like in 9/11, every church, I believe every church in this country was packed with people like, what the heck is going on here? We looking at the news and see these planes crashing into the Twin Towers like, what the heck is going on in this country? What's happening? They start crying out to God then. They're like, hold on. This is a wake-up call. What's going on? What's really going on? Let me go and see what the pastor got to say about this. What's happening, Pastor? Is the world coming to an end? Why are we going to know the day before when the world going to come to an end? We need to be thinking about that all the time. We wait till it's the day. Is the world come to an end soon? They've been saying it for years. Look at 1 Peter chapter 4. Boy, 9/11, we were like, united we stand.
Yes.
Everybody who had on red, white, and blue, we was blowing kisses at. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 7. Listen what Peter said. But the end of all things is at hand. Come on now. The end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. The end of all things is at hand. No, we don't know when. 2012. Who knows? What we do know, we who are spiritual, or we who have our eyes open, I should say, we can see the signs of the time. says, the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Look at verse 8. And above all things, have fervent love among yourselves. Now that's a wake-up call right there. He says, the end of all things is at hand, and his advice is for you to have red-hot love amongst yourselves. Ain't that something? He said, the end of all things is at hand, so have red-hot love amongst yourselves. He didn't say have red-hot love amongst the Lakesiders, because we can love y'all real good, because everybody in here just so lovely. Got their happy faces on. That's easy to love. He said, have red-hot love amongst yourself, amongst those people at your job who are trying to stab you in your back and get you fired. That's what he's talking about. Have red-hot love amongst those people who it seems like their mother can't even love. He said, have red-hot love amongst these people. Look what it says. For love shall cover the multitude of sins. See, love will cover that stuff. Love will cover them talking about you. Love will cover that. Love will cover that. Love will cover it. Love. Talking about God kind of love. The love that Jesus had when he went to that cross. He wasn't thinking about himself. And he wasn't even thinking about those people who did it to him. He said, Lord, he said, Father, forgive them. Forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. That's the way we have to look at it when people do us wrong. They don't know what they, just like when they crucified Jesus. It said that if they would have known what they were doing, they wouldn't even have crucified the Lord of glory. If they would have known what they did to you, they wouldn't have done that to you. If they had known that that just put some more spunk in your face, and that just charged you up a little bit, gave you more oomph, gave God a chance to come and work on your behalf, they wouldn't have done that. If they wanted to do you wrong, they wouldn't have done that. So we have to have fervent love amongst them and say, Lord, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do. And that's the way we have to look at it, too, when people do us wrong. They don't know what they do. They don't. Because, you know what, I just believe that everybody on this earth wants to lead a quiet and peaceable life. I don't care how they front and act like they want to be hard, tough, and mistreat people. You know, people mistreat folks for their lifelong mistreaters. Mistreat people everywhere they go. Talk about people, just dog people out. Just like the lion. And they're trying to attack their prey. They'll find the weakest one in the pack, and then they'll target their energy on that person. That's how some people are. They find the weakest person that's around, and they start dogging him out, talking about him like a dog, so everybody can give him a laugh. That shouldn't be so amongst Christians. We should be the ones going to help that weak person, help him get strong and build up his self-esteem, and let them know that they look good. If we find the weakest person that around, I saw that when I was volunteering at Garrett the other day, Friday. I volunteer up here on Fridays, and I went in there and I saw one of the guys in the classroom. He was the smartest one. He was the smartest boy. He looked kind of nerdy, if you want to call him nerdy. He sit there and don't mess with nobody. And then here comes this guy talking about you this, you that, you this, and everybody laugh. He got to laugh at this boy's expense. And then, and I was praying in the Spirit, the Holy Ghost convicted that rascal too. He laughed for a minute. He realized he was wrong. He said, I didn't mean it, man. I'm sorry. But that's after he got his laugh, though. You know, he got the pleasure of getting his laugh. We'll mistreat people. We'll dog people out because they don't do things quite like we want it done. And then when something happened to us, the whole world comes to, how can they do me like that? How can they do me like that? Do you know what they did to me? They did this to me. Well, you've done it to other people. Because it ain't no joke. What you sow is you're going to reap it. When bad things happen to you, you got to ask yourself, am I sowing or are they reaping? Come on, somebody. Turn over to Romans chapter 13. It says, love will cover the multitude of sins. You know, it also says the love of many shall wax cold. Can you see that going on in this world? The love of people is just waxing cold, especially in the media, especially in Hollywood. We were watching something, what was that thing, that movie we were watching, Stump the Yard or something yesterday? And these rats, I'm telling you, they're just so mean, just got to be so evil. They call themselves dancing in competition, but they stand up there looking each other in the face. I'm like, what's all that about? If you're going to compete dance, do like Michelle did up here. Do that. Acting crazy, acting a monkey. The love of many has shown up wax cold. And that's trying to become the culture, American culture, to be hard. You don't want nobody to know you a punk. And most of them rascals that's being hard, they punks anyway. Where did I tell you to go? Romans chapter 13? That's something that really gets up under my skin there. Why do people have to try to be so mean? And they don't want nobody to be mean to them. Even those the hardest rappers. They don't want nobody to be mean to them, but they just, they rap mean. They look mean. And I believe they go home at night and they just cry. What is this? Because that's the way I was. Lord, is this what life is all about? I'm fronting, I'm faking the 50 all day long. I get home, because I'm faking the 50. I'm trying to let everybody know I ain't a punk, but I was a punk. And most of them rascals, they're trying to act like they ain't a punk like us. They are punks. I'm wearing that word out this morning. Hey, it's a wake-up call going on in this world. We better heed to the call. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. It's high time. In other words, enough is enough. Get it right, church, and let's go home. Come on. It's high time to wake out of sleep. For now is salvation nearer than when we believe. In other words, hey, people been saying that Jesus is coming soon. He ain't came yet, but it's nearer than when we first got saved. It's nearer than then. It's high time to wake up. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. You know, we do all our dirt in the dark hour, in the darkness. It says the day is at hand. And that day is the day when Jesus is going to crack the sky. And all of those who died before us, who are in the grave, they're going to come up and join Jesus in the air. And all of us who are saved and have lived a life according to the word of God, we're going to meet him in the air. We're going to join him. And then we're going to spend eternity with the Lord of glory. And that's what I believe, because it says it in the Bible. That's why I'm living the life that I live now. If I didn't believe it, I'd be back on the streets of Detroit, pimping and selling dope and mistreating people, going to bars every night, acting a fool, and being a punk. I'm going to wear that word out. That's what I'd be doing if I didn't believe. But I believe that Jesus died, and he rose from the dead, and he's coming soon. I believe that. That's why I live the way I live. Sometimes it seems like it's hard to live like that, but it was harder for me to live a life, a masquerade, than it is for me to be free and transparent. It's easier for me to live this life. I'm having more fun than I ever could have before I got saved. I thought I was having myself a ball. I thought I was living it up. Talking about letting the good times roll. I was letting the so-called good times roll. But now I'm letting the good times roll, not for real. See, people have a misunderstanding about being a Christian. They feel like you got to stop wearing makeup. You got to wear your dress all the way down to your shoes. You got to cover up everything, like I said one time. You got to even cover up the legs on the piano. You can't even let the legs on the piano show. You can't play cards. You can't do this. Where did that? I didn't see that in the Bible. You can't have fun. I'm having fun. I'm having fun, and I'm doing the will of God and having fun at the same time. Somebody got it twisted. It's not me.